welcome to another episode of On the Edge in Focus. My name is Liliana Mota, and today we have Professor of Art Charles Grebe, and he will be talking about the DreamCrit program and what it is and how students can get involved. Hello, Professor. If you can tell me about the animation program at CSUF, what it is and what you guys do.
Sure. The Entertainment Art Animation concentration is a part of the Visual Arts Department. Our program is very focused on character-driven storytelling. We have developed significant ties with animation studios in the industry. Students who study with us learn how to create characters with animation. Students draw them. Students work with computers to create them. Students work with 2D digital tools as well as 3D digital tools. So we're very expansive and inclusive in the tool sets that we work with. Our alumni are working throughout the animation industry. We have them working at DreamWorks. We have them working at Disney. We have them working at Nickelodeon, Blue Sky, video game companies, feature filmmaking companies, visual effects, television, toy design. So we've seen significant success with our students who have completed their studies going out and finding employment. And this success has led studios like DreamWorks to come to us and say, hey, we'd like to work with you. And that's what the DreamCrit really is.
Oh, that's really interesting. Can you explain to us what DreamCrit is and how it works?
The DreamCrit, as I mentioned, it was, we were invited to participate. Marilyn Friedman coordinated the outreach program at DreamWorks Studios for a long time. And she had a relationship with us for many years. Dana Lamb started the animation concentration at Cal State Fullerton, I think in 1996 or 97. And has worked very hard to develop relationships with different Hollywood studios. And Marilyn Friedman is one of the people he developed a relationship with early on. And so DreamWorks, through Marilyn, has worked with Cal State Fullerton for many years. And the idea was for students from these universities to have their animation artwork critiqued by professionals. So it's an extracurricular program. It's not associated with a specific class. The meetings with the professionals are scheduled at the DreamWorks studio. And that's part of the fun in the DreamCrit experience. They can bring us together across hundreds of miles for these critiques to occur. So the students get to travel to the studio, they get to meet the professional artist who's speaking during that particular DreamCrit and have their artwork critiqued.
What's the cost of the tuition for the program, or is there scholarships available for students?
It's free. There is no cost at all. This is an extracurricular opportunity that's been coordinated by DreamWorks, and they invest a lot of time. Their artists stay after hours at work. The events are in the evenings. So we've got an animation professional who is basically giving up time and saying, I'm going to give some time to talk to these young people, to take time out of my schedule to give them some feedback and critique. And the artwork is due before the critique, so that professional has an opportunity to sit down and look at it. So they're taking time out of their day before even the critique occurs. So if there's any cost here, it's definitely on DreamWorks. They're the people who are really putting this up, and none of it has been passed on to the CSU. I mean, CSU faculty also participate. I attend every DreamCrit. I'm there, and other faculty also come and participate. The student just has to be able to get themselves to the DreamCrit. That's it. There is no cost. There is no need for a scholarship. So,
How polished does a student need to be in their area of work to get into the program?
DreamWorks is looking for professional level work. They really do. They want to see work that is competitive with what their artists might be producing. You know, the idea that when you're a student, you know, the work doesn't need to be as good is dangerous, because it isn't going to be. You're learning. However, you really need to know that's the goal you're striving for. And it doesn't just suddenly happen the day that you graduate. All of a sudden, magically, your work gets better. You need to be constantly working towards that goal. So ideally, when you get to your senior level, you're producing work that is competitive, that is at that professional level. So that's really what we're looking for. We want to see students accomplishing a level of work that can stand on its own and be respected by what that professional measure might be.
What's the next step for the student?
Well, the program itself is really, I mean, that's it. It's that chance to have your work critiqued. You know, that's kind of the experience that DreamCrit is defined by. Now, there is an art show at the end of the year, and All the students who had their work critiqued during the DreamCrit experiences in the academic year are invited to submit their artwork, and they're asked to apply the critique to their artwork to show the revised work. Now that they had this feedback from a professional, they're asked to apply that feedback to the work, and then it is put on display at the DreamWorks studio, both down in Glendale and up in San Francisco, so that all the artists and professionals working at the studio have an opportunity to see it during the show. So that's a really exciting opportunity the students have. Now, so far as a direct connection to a job, there is no direct hiring out of the DreamCrit. DreamWorks has instituted internships associated with the DreamCrit experience. Now, those are dependent upon the status of productions where they've got a need, where they can put the funding to have an internship. But they have done that, and that has also been directly associated with the DreamCrit. So the DreamCrit is very much about those meetings where the students get to go to the studio. But there have been some ancillary events like the art show and the internships that are also associated with the DreamCrit experience.
Oh, that's good. That's really interesting. Where can students find more information about the DreamCrit program? Is there a phone number or a website that a student can go on?
We don't have a website for the DreamCrit. Best thing to do is talk to me. You can send me an email and ask. The Pencil Mileage Club is a student club, and it serves predominantly animation and illustration students. The DreamCrit information is distributed through the Pencil Mileage Club. It's also distributed in classes by faculty or involved, and via email. So it's really word of mouth, email, and through club participation that the word gets out. But we don't presently have any kind of website devoted to the DreamCrit.
Okay, that's good. Thank you very much for your time. We appreciate you coming on the show and speaking about this awesome program that students can go on. Thank you guys for joining us on another episode of On the Edge and Focus. We'll see you next time.